What's up, guys? Jesse Klein and Justin Klein of the Klein Real Estate Team. And wow, prices have plateaued in Vancouver. We are fired up. Big bulls now. No, I'm kidding. I mean, we're definitely more bullish than we were a couple months ago because, like, holy smokes, prices sure are resilient here in Greater Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. Sales volumes are 35 to 50% below the 10-year average right now, and it was the same for September, which is outrageous. Probably the lowest September. I mean, I didn't measure it as September, but we're seeing some of the lowest sales months since like 1981 and 2000 and some of these really bad years. And so it's quite remarkable that prices plateaued. They went down 1% month over month. If you break it down by area though, and say you go Cloverdale detached, you can see that prices actually rebounded, and you can see that spike there this month. So this officially stops the $75,000 a month decline that we were seeing in Fraser Valley detached market. And we did predict that last month that it would probably plateau here in September. A little bit of seasonality in there as well, but also a huge inventory problem that we're going to talk about a little bit.
So we're just going to go through last month's median price declines from the peak. Feel free to pause the screen here, look through these. There's a lot of them. I'm just going to highlight a few. We can see Fraser Valley down 25%, Greater Vancouver down 16%, Kelowna 23%, Surrey there 25%, Chilliwack 25%, Abbotsford 27%, Burnaby 19%, holding in there a little bit better. For townhouses, Fraser Valley's down 19% and Greater Vancouver is 20%, and then condos, Fraser Valley down 12% and Greater Vancouver 7%.
So that was pretty much just that froth getting cleared right off the top. A lot of those price gains happened from like summer 2021, like we saw the prices low last summer 2021. September, it just got smoking hot. They just started skyrocketing again. And all that got cleared off, which is what you saw there. And so now we're pretty much back to summer 2021 prices in most areas and for most product types. Townhouses and condos still a little bit above that. Condos especially a bit above the 2021 summer, but houses definitely back there.
So with payments up 75% since 2019, you'd wonder why buyers are even purchasing homes still. And if they could pay less, they certainly would. But people are still pulling the trigger out there with the limited selections of homes that are available. You know, if something comes up that you love, you can either pay a good price for it or be competing with other buyers.
It really just comes down to inventory. There is still a constraint on inventory, and buyers are feeling that. And to give you guys an example, you know, a lot of people out there, a lot of realtors are talking about, oh, I got multiple offers on my listing, or oh, I'm in multiple offers tonight with my buyers. And it's true, there's more multiple offers going on now than there was in July and June, and that's true. But these homes aren't going over asking. So this month, 9% of homes sold over asking. In August, 10% did. So it's not like our market is at this place, you're getting multiple offers on a home. Like, you know, it'll still sell 30, 40,000 under asking oftentimes. Okay, let's take a deep dive into inventory for a second here. So new listings in September were 15% below the September average for 10 years. That means that there's still 15% fewer sellers listing than normal during this time. But in August, it was 20% below the August average. So that means we have seen a little bit of an uptick after adjusting for seasonality this September. And also, inventory is still 12% below the 10-year average. So we are running in a constrained inventory market. Now you got to remember, this is not factoring in all the homes that we've built. The population in Surrey and Langley has gone up like 13% in the last 5 years. So if you take the 10-year average, you're taking all these years where we had like 20% less housing inventory, and we're still 12% below those lower numbers. So I think we're probably more like 25% below the 10-year average for inventory once you factor that in. And our inventory is also up 62% from last September. So that sounds extreme, and you're gonna see all these people being like, whoa, the market's crashing, inventory's up 62%. Well, okay, look, last September was brutally low. It was like the only house you could buy was like some marijuana grow out box, like on a, you know, Highway 1, like literally as your front yard. So it was brutal. Like there was nothing available.
So inventory will likely stay low going through the winter, like we've said in our past videos there. But spring is what we're going to be watching out for. If we get a bunch of listings coming on the market like we normally do in the spring, there's a chance that this buildup of inventory will last through 2023. And that'll be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, so that's going to be a total change from what we have now, whereas last year we came off this low inventory and it never really had a chance to build a lot. Next spring, we might finally see that happen. So this is an interesting stat for you guys. If you own a property in the Fraser Valley, you probably have your tax assessment. Now, tax assessments aren't a great estimate of your value, but what we can do is take the average sale price for all homes in September and then compare that to the average assessed value for all those homes. So it gives us an idea. So if you own a detached house in the Fraser Valley, last month, the average house sold for 103% over your assessed value. So take your assessed value, add 3%. It's probably a lot lower than you expect. If you're a townhouse, it's a bit higher, 111% of your assessed value. Condos, 117% of your assessed value. That's where we can see houses have come down the hardest. Assessed values are as of July last summer. So houses have come down the hardest pretty much to last summer values. Townhouses, not quite there yet, and condos still holding about 17% above last summer values. And that's because detached houses ran up the hardest. They're coming down the hardest.
So in terms of the percent of homes that are selling each month, 12% of detached houses listed on the market sold in September.
And that actually officially puts us in a buyer's market.
Yep.
So anything below 12% of home selling is buyer's market. 12 to 20 is balanced. Anything over 20 is a seller's market. So detached is in a buyer's market.
Detached in the buyer's market, and then looking at condos and townhouses, they're up at 21%. So kind of
still high. It's still high, yeah. But you know, townhouses, we've seen the prices coming down quite a bit. Condos as well, but there's still that tight inventory, and technically it's a seller's market, which is really interesting. We're not really seeing that in price action, but it is technically.
And both these numbers are very similar for Fraser Valley and Greater Vancouver right now.
Yeah, 12% for detached in Greater Vancouver and 21% for condo and townhouse.
Yeah, and to give you an idea, in July, the selling ratio was 9.9%. So that was the
for
bottom.
Detached.
That was for detached, that's right.
And now we're up 2% to 12%. So it bounced, and that's that September bounce, August, September bounce we've been talking about.
So condos and townhomes are selling at a much higher rate than houses right now, but condos are starting to slow. And likely that's because so many investors make up that pool of buyers, and investors really hit the pause button on buying right now.
All right, so where are the opportunities right now? Well, let me tell you this. The luxury market is still 59% of normal inventory. So that means we're down like 41% on inventory in the luxury market, which is extremely low. The general market's more like 85%. And so people trying to sell luxury homes right now are still getting lots of showings, decent offers. There may be 5 to 10% off peak pricing in places like South Surrey. Still a decent time to do that. Also, the gap between townhouses, homes, and condos is actually narrowed now to, I would say, historically normal proportions. So to make any of those jumps up or down is actually a decent time to do that, in the sense that you're not going to be paying more for a house. The gap between a townhouse and a condo percentage-wise isn't more than it normally historically is, and that's because townhouses and condo and houses have come down more to match the condo gains. Downtown Vancouver continues to offer the best rental yield. Places in Yaletown, you can pick them up for like $900K, and they'll rent out for like nearly $4,000 a month for a 2-bed, which is incredible. All right, so this was our boots on the ground video with all the data that you need about what happened last month. Part 2, where we see interest rates going, what you need to know about that, more economic data, and also what we think is going to happen this winter, the price action we're going to see, and the marketplace dynamics.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you like this video, and check the links in the description below to see how much your neighbors are selling for today.